All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to New Hampshire. This is TurnLeftTV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series hits New Hampshire tonight for race number 10, the final race of the season. It's 110 laps. This great short track promises some close racing tonight. Who's got what it takes to bring home the victory? And who's got what it takes to bring home the championship? Well, there's only one way to find out, boys and girls, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, the Buschwackers Series hits New Hampshire for the final race of season number 3. It can come down to the last lap tonight, baby. Who's going to bring home the victory? Let's get this party started. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. I think we've got a good one here for you in store. It is New Hampshire. Great track this is. Fun track. Interesting track. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV, owner of High Octane Racing League. 110 laps tonight for race number 10, the final race of season number 3 in New Hampshire. A little short, I don't know if you want to call this a short track. It races like a short track, but it's a little over a mile in length and a lot of fun, man. I think tight racing here. It's all about corner entry and corner exit and driving it. Balls out there down the straightaways. These guys are in the practice session. Just a few moments left to go, about 8 minutes or so. You get to take a look at this. This is the final race of the season. Man, what a good season we've had, too. Very competitive. I think we got two drivers that are in the championship hunt. Just 10 points separating those two. We'll talk about those guys in just a moment. Thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate it. Sorry for the late start here. A little bit of a lower turnout here tonight. Maybe this was the final race, but some issues there with the car update as well. Take a look at the point standings coming in here to kind of give you an idea of where we're at here. So Arthur Vieta and Sean Jacobs are separated by just 10 points. Arthur's definitely in the driver's seat, no pun intended, but with some bad luck, a disconnect or crash out early, Sean Jacobs definitely within striking distance there. Preston Hassel's shown in third in points. Gordon Carter fourth. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is fifth. You see John Stanley, Tony Picado, Dana Grover, Givaldo Spindola, and Dennis Udachin rounding out the top 10. We take a look at page number 2. Headed up by Roman Semenchenko, Jomar Peixoto, Giulio Caligari, 12th and 13th. Chris Hughes, 14th. Mateus Mello is 15th. You see Stanislav Pavlov, Jesus Iglesias, Dan Richter, Donovan Boyke, and Todd Robillard rounding out the top 20. And then there are 21st and 22nd there, Eugene Fedorov and Ritsky Novar. So those are the points coming into tonight's race. Just under 7 minutes left to go in the practice session. Good to see John Stanley out here, and that's Stanley Tool sponsor machine. Thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't done so, and smash the bell. You'll get updates when races are going live here on TurnLeftTV. Over 1,000 subscribers, man. I feel like I'm Aerosmith right now. That'd be crazy. Thank you to all the people who've subscribed, and if you come out and watch the races, please consider subscribing. That just helps me get around the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Let's take a look at the track here at New Hampshire. Ooh, just a little over a mile in length. 4 turns, of course. I think it's 2 big, ginormous turns on each end of the track. Variable banking there in the corners at 2 to 7 degrees. And really, I think, you know, the straightaways are long. You got a lot of speed, but you're going to have to get on the brakes there and really get around that corner. That's a lot of passing opportunities. Setting yourself up through the straightaways, getting into that corner, into turn 1, into turn 3, and setting yourself up to be able to really finish that pass through the corner and just mash it off 2 and 4. Take a look at our points leader here of Arthur Vieira. In command here, maybe to pull off another championship in that 4 car. NASCAR be our sponsor machine. Don't forget to subscribe and surf over to and subscribe to the Sober Tom Podcast YouTube channel. That is Claudio Bardelli Jr.'s YouTube channel. All things music there, the Sober Tom Podcast. Check him out. A good friend of the Race League. Friend of mine as well. So please support his channel. Let's take a look at the keys to this race tonight, man. Corner entry and corner exit. You see what I'm saying? It's all about the corners here. It seems like it's one big long turn, and it really is. I mean, it's just one big corner, but the entry and exit to those corners is really, really important. And measure your tires too, man. If you really are burning your tires up through the corners, it's easy to do. You're going to pay for it later in the race. You're really not going to be able to get that car to stick coming off. So tire management is going to be huge here. And then patience too. You're going to have, we don't have a huge field here tonight. I'm 10 drivers or so, maybe a few more once everybody gets in. But I think you're going to have to exercise some patience here. Patience with other drivers, but also patience with the track as well. And you got to make good pit stops. We say that each and every week. This is a pretty fast track with it feeling like a short track, but still is fast through the corners. And getting on and off pit lane is going to be pivotal here too. So make good pit stops here at New Hampshire. High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action on Wednesday, August the 5th for the brand new season, 100-lap race in Texas, baby. So season number 4 starting on Wednesday, August the 5th at 8 p.m. And there's a tire rule in that series, so that makes things a lot of fun. And Texas is going to be a lot of fun as well. Saturday Night Thunder tomorrow night will kick off a brand new season at Kentucky Speedway, 110 laps there in the Next Gen Series. Kid race season starting tomorrow. That's Saturday, August the 1st. Racing will start at 9 p.m. Broadcast working. check and make sure the broadcast is going on. We had some issues last week. Woo! There's a barbecue out here. At least there's a Glaciers and an Orange Crush Boxer machine. Chatters in here. Man, look at all the chatters already. Wow. How about that? Givaldo starting us off. Well, I kind of started us off, but Givaldo took over. Wishing everybody good luck, good evening, have a great broadcast, and 5 possible champions heading into the decider. Are you kidding me? I'm counting 2. I think it's a 2-man game here. I think it's a 2-man game. We'll see. And, of course, Jelson Neto joining us in here as well. Wishing everybody a great race. Good to see Jelson out. Guys getting ready to head over to the qualification session. Also want to announce a very special event coming up on Monday night. If I can bring it up here, I'll scroll through my... On Monday, I'm going to do a special event, a special broadcast, Monday, August the 3rd, 9 p.m. I'm going to broadcast the Happy Hour Racing League Race of Champions, the HROC race, and it'll be at Michigan. They do a little bit different format there, 15-minute first race, invert the field, and then a 16-minute main event. So really, qualifications will start for that 15-minute deal. They'll run 15 minutes, they'll invert the field, and then you have a 60-minute main event. That is the Happy Hour Racing League Race of Champions, the HROC race, coming up on Monday at 9 p.m. right here live on TurnLeftTV. Well, I think we're ready to go to qualifications. So about, they got a 10-minute qualification session. We will shift on over to there as soon as somebody gets out on the track and starts making some laps. And again, thank you for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. This is the final race of season number 3 in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Xfinity Series. And it is 110 laps tonight here at New Hampshire. July 31st, that is a very special day to me. That's the day I went into the United States Air Force and the day that I ended my service as well 6 years later. So a very special date on the calendar for me is July 31st. And here we are broadcasting live for you. All right, looks like Sean Jacobs may be the first driver out of the gate. Everybody kind of qualifies over the top of somebody else. They don't see other people for private qualifying there, but it takes too long to do individual qualifying, believe me. You have to have more than a 10-minute qualification session. All right, Sean Jacobs with his first time lap. Setting the pace for everybody to shoot for here, coming off turn 4. Let's see where Sean Jacobs lands. 30.273 for Sean Jacobs. Preston Hassel, he wants to whittle into that, and he does. Preston Hassel, 29.873 for him. About Gilmar Peixoto, let's see where he lands. Right now, P3. Hassel at the top of the grid. Givaldo now to P2. Could be a big one for him. How about 71? Gilmar Peixoto and that Chevy. PixBet sponsors Chevy. Right now, P4. 29.873 is the time to beat. 30.441. That's not going to do it, but he still has a pretty good position right now, P5. How about Arthur Vieira? He's our points leader. Let's see what he's got to say about it. $29.873. Preston Hassel in the Ford. See Vieira way up on that outside wall, trying to dive down the hill a little bit through the corner. Get a good run on the backstretch. The NASCAR BR sponsored Chevy. How many championships does he have under his belt, man? A lot. 29.858. The Chevy to the top of the grid. How about Barbecue? Jesus Barbecue Iglesias in the 22. He's looking to get a good starting position. This Orange Crush sponsor machine. 29.858. Arthur Vieira, the points leader, and so far the leader here in quals. A little bit slow, it looks like, there for 31.241. That was a snail's pace for him. 22. Must have been drinking some Orange Crush. He's got some work to do. It looks like he might have backed off that, so Iglesias, I don't think, is going to really push this. We'll see. 22 car, can he dig into that grid? Right now, P10 for him. Let's see where he lands. 31.230, still P10. And I think doesn't look like John Stanley is going to qualify, I don't believe. So it does look like effectively qualifications are over. I think Stanley's still on pit lane, and it does look like that maybe he is not going to give it a run. But we'll give you the final results here once official qualifications end in about 5 minutes or so. But thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate it. Let's get this party started, huh? All right, we're back here. Thank you so much for being patient with us. We are finished with qualifications. We'll give you the final results. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Heath Johnson, and we are at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for 110 laps, race number 10 of the 10-race season. And it all comes down tonight. We're going to tonight, and we're going to crown the champion at the conclusion of this race. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. Flag-to-flag coverage here at New Hampshire. Let's take a look at the qualification results. Artur Vieira, I'll tell you what, those couple points help a little bit too, right? Qualifies P1. Preston Hassel start in the second position. Dana Grover will start third. How about that? A Chevy, a Ford, and a Toyota in the top three there. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts in the fourth position. Givaldo Spinola will start fifth. Sean Jacobs starts in the sixth position. Tony Furtado, seventh. Gilmar Peixoto starts in that eighth position. Dennis Odachin in the Toyota starts in ninth. John Stanley will start in the 10th position. And then starting in 11th will be Jesus Iglesias. So those are the qualifiers. These guys are now out in the warm-up session. Get a few laps in. Well, you know, the way that it works here at High Octane Racing League, we run these series like on Friday night. You know, we run the Buschwackers Series on Friday night. On Saturday nights, we run the Next Gen, Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen Series. And then on Wednesday nights, we run the Truck Series. And we really just go from one season right to the next. And I say that because next week, we'll start a brand new season in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series. And we will kick it off at Iowa Speedway. So a brand new season coming up next week, starting off next week with season number 4, race number 1 at Iowa. 10-race season. That'll take us into the month of October, I believe, somewhere into that, I believe. So that'll be a fun series. Iowa's always a fun track as well, so definitely want to check out race number 1. It's a brand new season coming up next week. But hey, we're not done with this season. We are not done with this season. And we got to still crown the champion. Again, take a look at the standings coming into tonight's race. And not a hugely tight battle. Vieira's got a 10-point lead, and with getting the pole position here tonight, starting at P1, that's going to help him out there to extend that. Going to need Sean Jacobs going to need a little help there, I think, to be able to make up that 10-point deficit. But those are the two drivers I think you really want to keep your eyes on here tonight. That's Sean Jacobs and Artur Vieira. My pick. Hey, good to see Julio in here. Julio! Good to see Julio Galagari in here. We need to see him on the track, bro. We'd like to have you on the track, but if we can't have you on the track, it's enjoying that, watching it on your computer or your TV. So YouTube, thank you for the support, and hopefully we'll see you in the Truck Series on Wednesday night. Julio, one of our regulars in the Truck Series. My pick to win this race. Wow, man. My pick to win the race. It's going to be interesting. I tell you what, you got quite a few drivers out here that can bring home the victory in this race. I might as well do it. I might as well choose him. I've got the key. I've got the camera on him tonight. So my pick to win this race and subsequently the championship is the 4-car of Artur Vieira. The only thing that I would say about this is that Arthur, we know that he has had some connection issues from time to time. I mean, it's amazing that more guys don't get disconnected. It's just absolutely amazing the way the internet is. I mean, he's racing all the way from Brazil, and a lot of guys that race from Brazil. We have a lot of great drivers from Brazil. A lot of my great friends here from Brazil. And I don't think they have quite the connection issues that I've seen with the 4 car. That I'm going to say that right there, just to get it out there, to think that, hey, you know, this guy I think is favored to win. You don't forget about Bardelli. Bardelli's good shot to take the win, and of course Preston Hassel, Sean Jacobs, the other 2 drivers I think are really, really solid chances of winning this race. But you know, the thing that is in the back of my mind is the 4 car and connection issues. So let's hope that doesn't happen tonight. We don't want to see that. So I got my pick in. Locked in, baby. 4 minutes left to go here in the warm-up session. I wasn't sure we were going to have a race tonight, man. I mean, I was looking at about 15 minutes to go in practice, and we only had like 5 people in the server, maybe not even that many. I was really pretty worried that we weren't going to have a. And I was one step away of shutting down, not even starting the broadcast. I'll be honest with you. I started at 10 till, but I was pretty close to bagging out. I see only 4 or 5 drivers out. But they got done kissing the wife, finishing the dinner, helping clean off the table, and now they're out here to race. Let's look at the 47, Dennis Udachin. He's getting some practice pitting here. Waldo, that 68 car out here as well. Waldo starts us off in the chat session usually too, so a loyal patron here at High Octane Racing League. Some of these guys really I've known. This is the way I know them, is through sim racing, and Barker and Claudio, Jesus, Julio as well. Don't forget about Gilmar Peixoto. So my old guard boys there, Sean Jacobs, Tony Furtado, Preston Hassel out here. Those guys been around for a while. John Stanley out here as well. You see John out. Can't see him because the signs are in the way. He's right. There he is. That 12 car. Couple minutes left to go. Preston Hassel, the 27 cash responsive machine, one of those old guard HORL drivers. We'll step on the gas. Dana Grover, one of our great Canadian drivers here in the Fireball Flash sponsor number 89 car. Usually he tells me that if he's racing in this scheme that he's racing from the Trax VR facility, but I'm not sure that's still a thing. I know Trax VR, they provide a lot of folks there in that Calgary area for a place to race, so just a top-notch facility, top-notch support there as well. And usually when he's racing this scheme, that means he's at the Trax VR facility, but I'm not sure about this tonight. You'll see. He does have another scheme. That's usually my signal, but I can't say that it's a hard, fast rule going on there. But nonetheless, he got the Trax VR Toyota out here on the track. One of our great Canadian drivers. Forget about the 71. There's Gilmar Peixoto right now, 4th in the warm-up session. A little faster for that PixBet 71 car. We're getting ready to make it happen, boys and girls. Getting ready to make it happen. All right, I think warm-up has officially ended, and we're going to get the command to start the engines.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
We are going to get the command to start the engines here. Here we go.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, singer, songwriter, megastar, and Ford truck man, Toby Keith.
Time to get in, sit down, shut up, hold on, drivers, start your engines!
All right, here we go. The starting order here tonight. So starting in P1 is Archer Vieira, our points leader. Preston Hassel in the 27 starts in at second position. Starting in third will be Dana Grover. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts in P4. Starting in the fifth position will be Giovanni Spinola. Sean Jacobs starts in P6. Tony Furtado starts in at seventh position. Giomar Peixoto will start in P8. Starting in ninth is Dennis Udachin. Jesus Iglesias starts in the 10th position, and John Stanley will start in P11. It's 110 laps here tonight. And don't forget my keys to the race here. Corner entry, corner exit, manage those tires, be patient, and make good pit stops. The lights are out on the pace car. Here we go, baby. I don't almost like to have 2 laps here, to be honest with you. Let me get through all my crap.
Green flag, go, go, go!
Green, green, green for the final race of season number 3 of the Buschwackers Series. Good jump there by Preston Hassel on the high side. Whoa! He trying to force the issue there. The 4 car was underneath him, and these guys are fighting. Whoa! Claudio Bardelli Jr. up in this mix as well. Arcaveda's going to have to be careful. He dives in that second position. Sean Jacobs is in P4. He's got the 71 car inching beside him. These guys getting after it right away. Wow. Well, Preston Hassel had to muscle his way through, but now Archie Vieira working his high side. So they've kind of swapped position. Vieira started on that inside line, and he doesn't want to be denied. He gets back by Preston Hassel. Wow, that got interesting there at the start. Those guys got aggressive early on. And Archer Vieira back to the top. You see Claudio Bardelli Jr. now inching up on Preston Hassel. Bardelli looking like he wanted to go to the outside line, and Preston Hassel slamming the door. Preston Hassel looking a little racy here early on, as Bardelli using that inside line and getting by. The only thing about that is you kind of scrub off. If you go to the high line, you get a little bit better exit corner exit there. But the 19 able to hold on to that spot. So Vieira, he had to battle for it, but he got back to the race lead there on the start. Already it looks like maybe Dana Grover's had some issues. He's missing his hood. So something happened to Dana Grover on the start. Not sure what that was. We'll take a look. Dana Grover here on this inside. Oh, and he just loses the back end of it. He gets into Givaldo, and the 47 got caught up in that as well. But it looked like the back end of that 89 car came around. Let's take a look here. Another look at this. So right here is the Trax VR sponsor machine into Givaldo and then up the track and hard into the wall, and the 47 car gets by. Dotchin. Right there, take a look at Dennis. He trying to get through. Wow, maybe just touched him a little bit. I didn't see the car move too much, so he might be all right. Don't see any damage to that car. Definitely some damage to Dana Grover's machine. Wow. Tony Furtado working the inside. Now he goes back up to that outside line. Now back down to the inside. He's trying to use this inside line, trying to get around the 24. See the 71 up on the outside line. And Tony Furtado in a Valvoline sponsored number 9. Now battling one of those, another one of those. Oh, guard HORL drivers. And those guys are swapping some paint. The 24 on the high side battling. Tony Furtado muscling his way through.
Yellow.
And we got a yellow flag. We got a yellow flag here, and I'm not sure what's brought out that yellow flag. Take a look here as Grover. Now he spun again, and then into the inside wall. Wow, man, what a tough break there for the 89. He has had a rough way to go, and now back up the track, and the yellow flag comes out. Wow, that was a hard hit there for him. So our first yellow flag, and as hard as these guys have been racing, I'm surprised we haven't had 3 yellow flags. So it looked like Dana Grover had some issues. To go back and look at that as Grover gets into the wall again. You know the handling's really messed up on that car, and then he gets into the inside wall as well, and then more contact, I believe. Right back up here on this outside, and I don't know if that was a frustration aspect of it on that last little bit, but that car is boogered up, absolutely destroyed there. So he's going to try to salvage something out of that. Wow. I'm surprised we haven't had 2 more cautions on top of this one, as hard as these guys have been racing. I don't know about Caligari. Caligari didn't get his pick to win this race in. I'm looking back up there. I don't see it. So I thought Caligari was going to get his pick in here with us. I'm picking Arthur Vieta. I think we're going to see some guys going down pit lane. There is no tire rule in this, unlike Wednesday night when we have the truck series. We do have a tire rule. You're only allowed to have 12 total tires, and any 2 tires you go over that limit is a 1-lap penalty. However, in this series, we don't have that. You can come down pit lane as many times as you want. And now the 4 car is coming down pit lane, going to lead the field to make some pit stops. Give us a chance to get a good look at what's going on here with some of these guys. So the 4 car into his pit stall, and now to give us a chance to take a look at 89 as he ducks into his pit. Whoa, look at that right there. Claudio Bardelli Jr., Preston Hassel, maybe just did a 2-tire stop with him. Vieta now coming out, I think, going to be in that 3rd position by the time everything's said and done. And that 89 car is going to be on pit lane for a little bit. So Preston Hassel looks like he had gotten out ahead of Vieta, as well as Claudio Bardelli Jr. Now John Stanley staying out. Get a lap led, and he's going to dive down pit lane and start at the tail end of the field. So John Stanley in that die-hard sponsored Ford Mustang coming down pit lane. And that's going to give the race lead to the 19 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. I have got to wonder here with the 19 and the 27. I just have a feeling that maybe they just did a two-tire stop. Think that maybe Vienna might have done that four-tire stop. It took him a little bit longer on pit lane, and it does look like maybe Bardelli and Hassel, those two Fords, only took two tires. So back up front here is Claudio Bardelli Jr. Got the championship too in the High Octane Racing League Tough Truck Series for Season 3, and I'm sure he's going to be out on Wednesday for race number 1 of Season 4 in that Truck Series. But another championship there for Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the Truck Series. It's like he's elected to take that outside line here on this restart. Preston Hassel will start in the 27 on the inside line. As Bardelli with the lane choice chose the outside. You see Dennis Udachin starting in third, Peixoto fourth. Now Vieira has, not sure what happened to Vieira there. Did he make a pit stop or what? He may have dove down pit lane there. I missed it if he did.
Green flag, go, go, go.
We're going back to green. Did not see what happened to Vieira. That's interesting. He may have come down pit lane and I just missed it. Bardelli the leader. Tucking in the Ford in the 27 is Preston Hassel. Dennis Udachin in the Toyota is third. Gilmar Peixoto fourth. Tony Furtado rounding out at the top 5. Take a look at Gilmar, and he and Furtado now battling it out. Furtado to the inside. A couple Chevys here duking it out. 71 going to the high side. Should get a little bit better run off, and you do see that's the case. But Furtado holds his own in this case. He's going to have to work a little harder and try to get around that 71 car. And he dives down the inside, stays in the throttle, but scrubs off a little speed as he get around through the middle. And again, now PixBet sponsored number 71 car. Gilmar Peixoto holding on to that spot. Sean Jacobs in this mix as well, that 24. He's right behind the 9. So a lot of Chevys here all bundled together about the middle of the field. Interesting scenario here that happened to Vieira. I didn't see him come down pit lane. So very surprising. I guess he did pit. I just missed that. So it's kind of a strange situation there, but that's a little bit of a gamble here out of our points leader. So Claudio Bardelli Jr. is starting to expand that lead on Preston Hassel. A couple Fords leading the field here on lap 17. Dennis Udachin running in the third position. We got a great battle shaping up in this pack with Udachin in third, Furtado fourth, Oh, Peixoto and the 24 also battling. 71 and the 24 trying to get around that 9. 47 leading this little pack. Get out of the front of Sean Jacobs' machine. You see the 71 on the high side. There's a lot of room to race here, man. It really is. You're better, I think, on the inside through the first part of the corner, but as you get through the middle, the outside seems to be a little bit better. Here's Jacobs feathering the throttle through the corner. Little goose right there. Wait for that car to get pointed straight and then mashing the throttle. Jesus Iglesias running in that 22 car in the 8th position. John Stanley is 9th. Jesus has just pulled off that pass. We'll take a look at this pass here down the backstretch or down the front stretch. As Iglesias and Orange Crush spots the machine. Putting that Stanley Tools sponsored Ford behind him. Oh boy, John, a little bit of a kiss there on the way by. Stanley now back to the 9th position as Iglesias running in P8. Bardelli is our leader. And a couple of Fords looking pretty strong here tonight. And we knew Bardelli was going to be tough here. I mean, he's tough no matter where he goes. He's just such a good race car driver. And, Preston also right up there as well each and every race. Those guys are in the hunt to win the race. Now, you got to wonder here how this is going to work out. These guys are pushing their way further ahead, but are they using up their tires? Dennis Udachin on the outside line. Oh, he and Gilmar get together. Dennis Udachin and Gilmar Peixoto get together. And Dennis was lucky to hang on to that car. Wow. And Peixoto right here gets into that 47 car, and the 47 has to get onto the brakes a little bit to keep from coming around, and those guys get around him. Not a huge out in front of Vietta's machine. Whoa! And he had to get on the binders to keep from getting into the back of that Kubota sponsor machine. He might have made a little contact. Take a look at this again. You see that contact there between the 47 and Peixoto. And then right here getting on the binders, and Vietta might have gotten into the back of the 24. Man, Dennis was lucky to have not spilled the beans there. Look at that, man. That thing is absolutely wrecked, and he does a great job of car control, getting that thing pointed back in the right direction, but he has lost about 3 positions. And the tires are probably not going to be liking him too well right now. Wow, what a great save, as Jelson Nutto was pointing out. Couldn't see Jelson in here tonight. That was a great save. They're getting after it here on lap 26. There's a lot of laps to go in this race. No tire rule here in the Buschwackers series, so you can change as many tires as you want in this series. So not a huge problem there as far as really pushing it. Sean Jacobs working this inside now on the 71. Remember the 71 got together with the 47, and Jacobs going to try to clear that 71 car. Jacobs making a little contact with the outside wall, coming off the corner. Trying to make room, I think, the case Peugeot came drifting up the track. And he got into that outside wall, so the 24 Kubota had a little right side damage for him. Vieira in this mix as well, so Vieira looking to get around Gilmar Peugeot. So Vieira in the Ford on the bottom side of this 71 PixBet sponsored Camaro. Vieira now back up to P5. Remember, Vieira had pitted. Kind of an off-sequence deal. I was really surprised that he came down pit lane. He's now working his way back up through traffic. Well, a couple Fords up there being chased by the Chevy, the Valvoline sponsor number 9 car, Tony Furtado. Trying to close in on the Ford party. Furtado is about 3 seconds down to the race leader, about 2.5 to Preston Hassel, who is running in P2. I think Furtado is, pound for pound right now, the fastest car of those three. On board here with him. And if those guys start getting side by side, racing, as it looks like they may be doing here pretty soon, he's going to open up a can of whoop butt on those guys. So he's looking a little strong. So we'll see how that works out for Furtado. He is about 1.7 to P2, about 2.5 to the race leader. Artur Vieira now closing in that 24 car. Artur Vieira, NASCAR BR AV Club, sponsored Chevy. Going to get around the 24. Archer now back up to P4. Sean Jacobs with the top 5 run in 5th. Back here, take a look at John Stanley in the 12. Trying to close in on Jesus Iglesias. Good little battle here between the Chevy and the Ford. John been pretty quiet on the radio in this Stanley Tools sponsor machine. The chrome rims tonight, and he's right there. Couldn't put a piece of paper between the two of those guys coming off the corner. Stanley looks like he has a little bit faster car than Jesus. And he's going to get by. So John Stanley now picking up P8 as Jesus falling back to the 9th position. Well, we've had one caution flag, and early on, Dana Grover had big-time problems. He is 5 laps down. Extended pit stop there for Dana Grover. He's thinking points night, though. Maybe moving up the grid a little bit. We'll see. 19 and the 27 have got company, and that company is Tony Furtado. Furtado has run these guys down for all intents and purposes. As long as he didn't use up his stuff, he's right there in the mix. They got 9 car. Wants to break up the Ford party. And Preston Hassel now beginning to pay attention to him in his rear view mirror. You see Tony Furtado running in 3rd. Maybe a little bit better long run car for the 9 car. We'll see. 27 Castrol Edge sponsor machine running in the 2nd position. And again, you see Furtado closing in little by little on these two. Definitely the faster of the 3 cars. Arthur Vieta has been able to open up a pretty good gap there on Sean Jacobs. So Vieta kind of out by himself right now. Just a little under 4 seconds behind the race leader. About 2.5 to, maybe 3 to P3. But Arthur Vieta now has worked his way back to the 4th position. Bardelli looking out of the back of his machine. You see Furtado and Hassel right there keeping him honest. Look at that concentration with Claudio Bardelli Jr. Now Furtado went down to the inside. It looked like he was going to try to get around, scrubbed off some speed, and now you look like Arthur Vieta has closed in. He's within striking distance now. Here we are, 39 laps in. And Bardelli Jr. wants to make it a 4-driver party. He said, hey, got a couple Chevys. Let's chase down those 2 Fords. So 2 Chevys, 2 Fords in the top 4. And Vieta is looking racy. As soon as he caught that 9 car, he said, let's go. I'm ready to get up there and get these guys. Now these guys are rolling up on some lap traffic as Givaldo in his 68. So the 68 of Givaldo Spindola as the race leaders. He goes down to the inside to let these guys go. And this is going to affect the 27 just a little bit. It's through the corner. Givaldo giving those guys a lot of room. And Vieta might have gotten into the outside wall. There might have been contact for Arthur Vieta on that. This is a little bit earlier as Vieta gets around the 9. Now you see Givaldo on that inside, and Vieta slamming the outside wall coming off the corner, so some damage undoubtedly to that 4 car. That was a hard lick. And Tony Furtado had a ringside seat for that. We'll take a look here. This is Arthur Vieta had gotten around. Now watch this. Hard into that wall right there. Contact as Tony. Take your eye off the road there for just a second, you miss your spot, and you end up creeping up the track and getting into the wall. I think that's probably what happened is, just the lap car. Not to say that Givaldo did anything wrong. He did everything right by getting to the inside. And we take a look at Givaldo. He was way down on that inside and letting those guys go. But with that exit, right there, I got into the wall. They wanted to stay on the high side and just missed his mark. Well, I've heard some talk on the radio. Some of these guys are saying, hey, man, they like the way their car feels as many laps you got on them, on the tires. So they're still liking how this thing feels. The 19 definitely likes the way this car feels. He's got a second lead over the 27, been able to extend that lead a little bit. Vieta, it doesn't seem like that damage has bothered him too much. He's running in the 3rd position, trying to close in on these front 2. Now, Tony Furtado, who was able to avoid the wall and avoid the 4 car, does seem to have fallen back off the pace, maybe really pushed that car hard to get up to those guys, and is starting to pay the price on tires. He is falling back. He's about 4.5 seconds back to the race leader. With 19, Claudio Bardelli Jr. How many times have we seen this, man? Even if he doesn't get a good qualification position, how many times do we see this guy make his way to the front? I mean, that's just the way it is right there. See if my side-by-side's working here. I've had a little update with the... it doesn't look like it's working. Yeah, I had a Windows update. I was afraid it broke the side-by-side, but it looks like it's working. And then we see Jesus Iglesias on pit lane. Finishing up his pit stop in 22. So the first of the drivers to come down pit lane. And that 22 car, Orange Crush sponsored Chevy. That's not the, let's see, there we go. We'll be in Kentucky tomorrow night, Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen Series, race number 1 of a brand new season on August the 1st. Oh man, are we already in August? Man, oh man. 110 laps from Kentucky. That's coming up tomorrow in the Next Gen Series. Bardelli on top right now. We'll take a look at that gap between Hassel and Bardelli. Oh, it looks like Bardelli's coming down pit lane. Hard on the brakes, so he's coming down pit lane, and that's why I saw that time going down. So Claudio Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. That's our race leader. And we may see some of these other guys on pit lane as well. Peixoto and Stanley also on pit lane. So Bardelli into his pit stall. You see the 27. Peixoto and Stanley now coming back off the track, or onto the track off pit lane. These guys might battle here coming off the... See here, a couple Fords duking it out. It looks like Bardelli's going to beat that 27 car off pit lane. Pitting under green. Preston Hassel now running in the third position as Tony Furtado shown in second. Claudio Bardelli Jr. back to the race lead after making the pit stop. Artur Vieira on pit lane. He's finished up his pits now. A little bit different scenario here, I think, between Bardelli and Vieira. You see the gap there as Vieira is running in the 6th position. And now he's going to try to get around Dana Grover. Now Dana Grover is shown 4 laps down in that 89. Tough break there for him early on in the race. A lot of damage he was dealing with. He's just trying to salvage a points night, I think. Iglesias moving up to P9 as he's getting around Givaldo. Givaldo in the 68 car, now 1 lap down in the lucky dog position. See the 4 coming down pit lane. This is really odd to me. What happened to him? Did he speed on pit lane? I'm not sure what's going on here with the 4 car. He might have got caught speeding. The 4 car driving through pit lane. No, back onto pit lane, so not the case. I'm not really hearing anything out of his crew. So he is on pit lane. This is a strange deal because he was up there. He was up there battling for the lead. And now finishing up his pit stop, and he is going to be down a lap, at least. It looks like he got caught speeding, so he had to come back down pit lane for a stop and go. That's what it was. So, wow. Not something we see out of Artur Vieira very often. And you know what that means. That's right, Artur Vieira speeding on pit lane. What a tough break there for Artur. I don't know if this has championship implications or what. You know, he's led some laps. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. There's a lot of laps to go here. We're halfway through. Still a lot of laps. Could be some championship implications here. Remember, running P2 in the championship coming into tonight is Sean Jacobs in the 24 Kubota sponsor machine. A 10-point gap separate the two of those guys. Now things are going to have to go a lot right for Jacobs, and I think he's going to probably need a little bit more bad luck for Vieta. Vieta back to P10 now, or P9, just one lap down. He's in the lucky dog position in case there is a caution flag. John Stanley and Jesus Iglesias battling right now as John Stanley running in the 7th position. Jesus in that Chevy, Orange Crush sponsor number 22, is in P8. P7, P8. John Stanley in that Die Hard sponsor number 12. These are great Canadian drivers. A little squirrely there coming off the corner for Jesus Iglesias. Jesus working the outside line, not quite able to get around. Tried to sneak that nose in on the high side. I'm not sure I'd want to be pinched up between that car and the wall. And try to maybe do an inside line pass. Maybe not the tires for it. That 22 car. Now Vieta is thinking that he's going to have to try to get up there and get around that 22 so he doesn't lose the lucky dog position. And he's going to probably lose it because Iglesias in the 22 out of the back of his car, as we get all the camera angles, is the race leader. A little bit farther away to get the tag to show up, but that blue car back there behind him is the race leader. Furtado running in the 2nd position in that Valvoline sponsor machine. He and Preston Hassel having a pretty good battle. See the 89 of Dana Grover in 11th. The 9 car got a little bit loose as the 27 going to get through. Also the 89 gets through. Preston Hassel able to get around as Furtado got really, really loose. We'll take a look at this pass again. 27 now up to the 2nd position as Tony Furtado is in 3rd, and it gets into the outside wall. More contact. We saw that earlier out of the 9 car. Made some contact coming off the turn into the outside wall. Bardelli Jr. has been able to stretch out that lead. He's 5 seconds, somewhere around 4 or 5 seconds there on Preston Hassel. You know where they are on the track, so somewhere around that. As Hassel is talking about tire wear issues for him. Really not feeling very good about how this set of tires is treating him in this run. Iglesias is messaging to Preston Hassel to go ahead and take the inside line. So good communication there out of the 22 car as he gets a little tail happy. Letting Preston Hassel go. Now what that does is that just causes you to kind of get out of the line you were running with these older tires. And, what the car's wanting to maybe come around, snap around on you. So you got to be really careful there. Older tires, you're like on a knife's edge. Tony Furtado in the 9 car, racing in the 3rd position. Behind him is Dana Grover in 11th. He is 6 laps down. Had a tough start at the race. Really got into the wall, lost the hood, and even more damage there to the side as well. Had to come in and take a really extended pit stop, but he is back out here working on a points night. Trooper. Take a look at Dennis Udachin in the 47. Just behind him is John Stanley. Good battle here on the track as the race leader is stuck behind these two. The 47, Dennis Udachin in the Toyota. John Stanley way down to the inside, trying to get a good run off the corner. Bardelli Jr. has those guys in his sights. He just got to be careful when he gets up to this lap traffic. He's pretty much in command. He's got about a 3.5 second lead over Preston Hassel. But this group of 2 drivers is holding him up a little bit, and Hassel has been able to close the gap somewhat. The 47, he wants to stay on the lead lap, so I think it's fair game to race pretty feverishly. John Stanley now letting Bardelli go, and he's going to try to use that gap that Bardelli has made to get around the 47, but not able to do it. As Bardelli has cleared both the lap cars. Now lap cars. Udachin is now in the lucky dog position for now. So the next guy in line is this one, Peixoto, 71 car. Preston Hassel has caused that or caught that pair ahead. And that is Stanley and Udachin. So Preston Hassel trying to maintain a little contact. You're looking at about 3.5 to 5 seconds, depending on where they are on the track. And he's stuck behind those 2 guys with 40 laps to go. There's a lot of racing ahead of us. A lot can happen here, but I think the 27 car wants to get through as quickly as he can to try to maintain some contact with the race leader. And they're side-by-side racing for positions. The 27 is now going to get around the 12. And now dive down to the inside, try to get around Udachin. 27, a little communication from Dennis right there to tell him to stay to the bottom side. That's good communication there out of the 47. As now Preston Hassel is closing in on Bardelli. Take a look at Sean Jacobs here in the 24. Kubota-sponsored Chevy. He's running in the 4th position. Remember, he's battling Arthur Vieira for a points championship. Vieira is a lap down. I'm not sure there's going to be enough points to separate those two. But Jacobs running in 4th. Vieira, the points leader, running in 9th. He got the speeding penalty. Had to come down pit lane to do a stop and go. And that really hurt him. And he is 1 lap down in the 9th position. He wants to get around the 3 cars that are ahead of him. Udachin, Stanley, and Iglesias. And maybe Peixoto before it's over with. Peixoto now at 71. Not too much gap there between he and Bardelli. We'll see. About half a straightaway. Take a look at Givaldo wedged in between Bardelli and Peixoto. Givaldo running 2 laps down in the 68 car in 10th position. 75 laps in. A lot can happen here. I think we're going to have some more pit stops. John Stanley now finally working on that 47 car. Going to the outside, and the 47 is going to give him a lot of room. So John Stanley picking up a spot. Now up to the 6th position. As the 47 battling back on the inside, sneaking that nose in there. Wildcard says, watch it. I got hammers in this Stanley Tools sponsor machine. John Stanley now in P6. I really think that we're going to see some pit stops out of these guys fairly soon. You know they're going to have to pit again. Been a good, clean race. We've had 1 caution flag. 19 car is our race leader. That is Claudio Bardelli Jr. Preston Hassel is in 2nd. Furtado 3rd. Jacobs 4th. Peixoto is in 5th. Those guys all on the lead lap. Now Peixoto down the lane there a little bit. He is at the tail end of the lead lap. We'll take a look at him. He's just ahead of Bardelli Jr. Peixoto doesn't want to go down the lap. I can assure you that. He's having a pretty good night here, though, running in the 5th position. The rest of these guys have had some drama. Artur Vieira now closing in on Jesus Iglesias. Down to the inside. Jesus in that 22-inch crush sponsor machine is going to give Vieira a lot of room. Realizes that Vieira is competing for a championship, and that's going to help his cause. Vieira now up to P8. Gaining a spot. Now again, Jacobs is the 2nd place car coming into tonight, so he's in 4th. Vieira is in 8th. Vieira needs to get around another car, 2 cars actually, to get back into that lucky dog position. Actually, soon to be 3, I think, as Peixoto is pretty close to going a lap down. The 19 way up the track. 30 laps to go. These guys are going to be making pit stops again. There is no doubt about that. No doubt about it. $19 indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane here, so Preston Hassel already on pit lane. See Tony Furtado coming down pit lane. Got to be really careful here. This is where things can go awry. Furtado in his pit stop. As now Claudio Bardelli Jr., our race leader, on pit lane. Now if you're Furtado, you got to be really careful, and also Bardelli. So when Furtado comes out, looks like there's a fair amount of separation between the 2 of those guys. Furtado now finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track in the 9 car. So Bardelli on pit lane, the race leader. Preston Hassel, he'll be coming down pit lane here, I believe. He might have already pitted, I'm not sure. It's not showing on my screen here, so. Preston finished his pit stop just a little bit earlier. And now, after both of those guys have made pit stops, they are about 3 seconds apart. Not exactly the thing I wanted right there, sorry. There we go. About 3 seconds separating the two of those guys. Here on lap 84. There's a fair number of laps left here. I don't know how much you really want to push this to, climb back up there as quickly as you can, because, tire wear could be an issue later in the run. There's still a fair amount of, even though they've made pit stops, there's still a fair amount of laps to go. Bardelli does seem to be extending that gap somewhat. Depends on where he is on the track, so we'll see how the 27 car can respond to this 19. John Stanley on pit lane in the 12. Die-Hard sponsor machine now up on the jacks. Now finishing up his pit stop. Now in the 7th position as he comes off pit lane. Good clean pit stop there for John Stanley. Clear selling for Bardelli Jr. As long as he can maintain that speed, I think he's going to be okay. It seems to be pretty steady. It's somewhere about 3 seconds to about 4.5 seconds, almost 5 looks like. Pretty steady there, depending on where they are on the track. You see now he's back down to around 3.1, so he is extending that lead ever so slightly each lap, about a tenth. Get down here and be maybe about 3.2. Oh, he's 3.1 there, so 3.1, 3.2. So Archie Vieta just ran his best time in the race, 29.901 for his lap. Unfortunately for him, he is a lap down. Now, once you start getting up there, you got some lap traffic to deal with. There is Givaldo and I believe Jesus just ahead. So there's Jesus Iglesias in that 22. Now Givaldo just a little bit further back in the 68 car. Now, if you're Bardelli, you've got to be worried about that a little. Dennis Udachin is on pit lane in the 47 car. Finishing up his pit stop. Got the fire engine out tonight. The 47 of our great Ukrainian drivers. Lives in the great city of Kharkiv. The ironic thing about this is, I'll speak about this in just a second. One of my students that I had in class years ago, she and her family, they moved here to the United States, and they're from Kharkiv. How about that? What a small world, man. Pretty awesome. So, she lives here and married. She's got a couple kids. Actually, funny story, because she and another one of my students were, sitting in the same lab class, and they were looking for lab partners, and the guy looked over and and didn't have a lab partner. He went over to her, seems kind of nervous and so forth, and they end up becoming lab partners, and then end up starting to date, and now they're married and have 2 kids. I mean, how about that, huh? That was just awesome. All in my class. I didn't have the kids in my class. We'll get that out there. So it was the lab partners, man. They switched lab partners every time, and then they, sort of just who's going to be my lab partner, and there you go. Fell in love in my biology class. How about that? Pretty amazing. Dennis Udachin getting around the 22. So all that revealing information started when I was talking about where Dennis is from. I just had a conversation with this young lady's husband. Again, he's one of my former students. I just had a conversation with him. He works for the local veterinarian. And we always have conversation when I bring my dog in, and it was just really cool to relive that memory. Every time I see him, we kind of relive that memory of those guys becoming lab partners. So it's so cool to be able to see those guys, that family, and I think they're getting ready to have their third child here, or working on the third child here. They got 2 beautiful kids. And building a lovely, happy, wonderful life for themselves here in the middle of Indiana. What a great story, huh? Well, the great story right now is Claudio Bardelli Jr. picking him up and putting him down. His 19 car has not really been able to extend that gap on the 27. And I've mentioned a little bit earlier what may be lying ahead, and that is some lap traffic. We will see. Stanley and Vieira are essentially a little bit of lap traffic ahead of Bardelli. That could come into play. Actually, that looks like Jesus and Dennis ahead there. I apologize for that. Will Bardelli catch those guys? If he does, this could be an issue. He can't. He's way up the track there too, man. He can't get too comfortable because he does have Preston Hassel behind him. Tony Furtado's had a good night. He's running into the third position in that 9 car. It's going to be a good finish for him if we stay the way we are right now. A good run here for the 9. The Valvoline sponsor machine came out early tonight. Got all set up. It's like one of the first ones in our team speak got set up. I had a little hurdle we had to climb before we got fully set up with the new car set being released. So running in P3. Good run here for him. John Stanley and Arthur Vieira here starting to duke it out. Little Ford versus Chevy. John Stanley not ready to give up that spot. Vieira into 4. Doesn't want to get 2 races to get himself in trouble and turn that car around, lose more positions. But there you see, oh man, he got hard on the brakes. I don't think he expected the 12 car to slow down quite that much, but he got hard onto the brakes. The car jumped around on him. Lucky not to have lost that. Now he's side by side with John Stanley. Here's his 4th position. John Stanley wants to hold on to that spot. Oh man, exit of the corner. The high side's a little bit better. And John Stanley's still able to hold on, but Vieira now pushing it on the inside. Vieira really pushing now. Inch and ahead. He's way down to the inside, hoping to get a good run here, coming off the corner. Good battle here between John Stanley and Arthur Vieira for position. Oh, and they're swapping some paint. Swapping paint. Vieira, you better be careful. Arthur Vieira better be careful. He does not want to ruin his opportunity to claim the championship. They're still getting after it. See, Vieira cannot get the bite that he needs on that bottom line. I might switch up to the high line. Try to snugger him. Whoa! I might switch up at a high line. Try to use that high line and get around him. He's still trying on the inside line. It is so hard to pass here, but what some side-by-side racing. Wow. Bardelli Jr. does not want to see any of that. These guys are still duking it out. That gap for the 27 has diminished. The 19 has got to be cognizant of that. You see Udachin and Iglesias in this mix as well, even though they're not in contention for the lead. They're wedged in between P1 and P2. Vieira is still trying to get around that 12 car. 12 car is going to hang around on that outside line. He's going to have company here pretty soon. We're on lap 105, and that 4 car wanting to get around the 12. The 12 just gets the bite that he needs on that high line, and the 4 has to scrub off some speed to keep from getting into the outside, that left side of the 12. What a great battle there on that right side screen. Vieira has got to be careful. He does not want to put himself in a situation where he ruins his chance of getting a championship. Oh, the 19 into the outside wall. Claudio Bardelli Jr. made contact with the outside wall. And he seemed to have recovered, but wow. Little drama unfolding here. We've got a cluster of cars. Back there, 6th, 7th, 8th, 4th, 5th. I don't know how many places we got. That 19, he might be able to lose those right side tires a little bit. These guys are still duking it out. That just shows you how good those two race car drivers are. John Stanley and Artur Vieira, lap after lap after lap, side by side. What a great, I'll tell you, the 4 car is finally listening to him. He's kind of tweaking around with that outside. John Stanley having none of it. Claudio Bardelli Jr. That 19 car. Looked like Preston Hassel got a little squirrely there coming off the corner too. Preston Hassel got a little bit squirrely as we're approaching the final lap. 1 lap to go for Artur Vieira, for Claudio Bardelli Jr. Well, maybe Artur as well. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 19 down the backstretch. Pretty much clear sailing ahead for him. This Global Trans sponsored Ford Mustang. Going to come off the final corner. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. is going to bring home the victory here at New Hampshire. So great job to Claudio. And another big win for him. And very, very solid run for Claudio Bardelli Jr. Got some Kubota sponsored on there too. Sean Jacobs, I hope he didn't see that. So congratulations to the 19, as you see the 27 giving him a little bit of a celebratory sideswipe. Great job. And what a race it was, huh? What a good race. They just had that one caution flag. But what a great race there. Great guys did a great job. Fantastic. And Bardelli got a narrow straightaway to be doing some donuts and burnouts. But congratulations to the 19. Let's take a look at the final results. Just a great job to Claudio, and fantastic runs there for him. Take a look at the results here tonight. I think we're going to see the results. Let's see. There we go. Claudio Bardelli Jr. gets the win. Preston Hassel finishing that second position. How about those two Fords up front? Tony Furtado, great race for him. Finishes in the third spot. Sean Jacobs finishes in P4. Jomar Peixoto finishes in the fifth position. John Stanley finishes in sixth. Arthur Vieta finishes in the seventh position, and Dennis Udachin finishes eighth in that Toyota. Top Toyota in the field tonight. Jesus Iglesias finishes in the ninth spot, and Joaldo Spinola finishes in P10. Finishing in the 11th spot was Dana Grover. Trouble early on there for him, and that Toyota able to make it across the line, but he finishes in P11. So congratulations to Claudio Bardelli Jr. on getting the big win. We'll see if we can't get Claudio Bardelli Jr. here in the booth with us. Well, we meet again in Victory Lane. Congratulations, Claudio.
Thank you. Good night. Arthur, give me a money.
Well, it looked like, lap traffic wasn't that big a deal for you, and you didn't seem to really be able to run away from Preston, but you got about a 3-second to a 4-second gap on him, and even when you got up to some of the lap traffic there at the end, it really didn't affect you. Was that something that you really were paying attention to, is where that P2 guy was?
In this race, Preston and the Arthur is faster to me, and try to maintain my tires, good tires. But I know the track is very difficult to passing opponents. Principally for the inside the line. The track position is very important in New Hampshire. I believe it to maintain my position in first pit stop. I changed 2 tires to maintain first position. I try to control in Preston. Preston go to pitch, I go to pitch. I try to maintain the same strategy. In the final of the race, Preston is strong, but I guess this lost the car. I don't know. I lucky guy. I give the money to Arthur.
Well, Arthur had a tough break there, speeding on pit lane, and had to do a stop and go.
Yes.
I haven't gotten the point standings yet updated, but I'm thinking he had enough gap to be able to still come away with the championship. There's only 10 points separating he and Sean, so we'll have to wait for those points to come up. But what a tough break there for him. He was going to be a contender if he didn't get caught speeding. You knew Arthur was going to be a contender tonight.
Uh, I don't understand your question, but I don't know. The guy is second the championship. I believe he's Preston. I don't know, but I try to win to helping Arthur to problem to pit stop, stop and go. I try to maintain my position. It's good for me. It's good for you.
It was great race drama and a lot of good side-by-side racing too. The last thing I really wanted to talk to you about is racing side by side through the corners with guys. It seemed like it was really hard to pass because guys that were on the outside line had a better run off the corner down the straightaway than the guys who were on the inside line.
Yes, it's very difficult to passing. I compare it to Monaco in Formula One. It's very difficult. This track, I don't know why, but the outside line is better to outside the turn. The car is pushing strong to inside line car. Is very difficult. The tire is hot, but the track position is very important in New Hampshire.
Well, we got another season right around the corner. I'm assuming that you're going to be jumping in and competing for another championship, but always good to see the 19 in victory lane. And we're going to pray for you to win the championship next season. How about that?
Thank you. Good night.
All right, man. See you. Bada bang.
Obrigado.
Claudio up here joining us in the booth, and congratulations to him. All right. Well, hey, man, tomorrow night we're going to be at Kentucky Speedway, 110 laps for race number 1 of that season. And a brand new season coming up in the Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen Series. That's coming up tomorrow at 9 p.m. There's a QR code there if you want to join us. Aim your phone at that QR code. That'll give you the Discord access to our Discord server. We'll get you set up. So the Next Gen Series starts a brand new season tomorrow at Kentucky. High Octane Racing League Tough Truck Series will be back in action for their brand new season. Race number 1 and that'll be at Texas, 100-lap race coming up on August the 5th. There's a tire rule in that fixed setup series. The tire rule is you get 12 total tires. Any 2 tires you take over the limit, there's a 1-lap penalty in points. So that's an interesting strategy. Texas is not going to be super problematic unless there's a lot of caution flags, I think, with tires. But some of these tracks, you definitely have to manage those tires. Always thinking about the tires there when you're racing in the Tough Truck Series. It does, as we're calculating the points, it does look like Arthur Vieta will come away with our championship. So congratulations to him. So another championship for Arthur Vieta. Normally I don't have them. They were pretty close coming in there. He and Sean Jacobs were battling for the championship, and Arthur was able to come away with the championship in that run that he had, even though he had that bad luck. See if I got the right screen here. Nope. No, I didn't. Reliving the championship there for Greg Kirchmeier. There we go. Arthur Vieta gets the championship. Congratulations to Arthur. Another one in the books for him. Season 3. Maybe he'll be back to win Season 4. Who knows? But congratulations to Arthur Vieta on winning the championship tonight. What a tight battle there he had with Sean Jacobs. And congratulations to Sean on a season, a great season. Just fell a little bit short. He's got a fair number of championships under his belt as well. So congratulations to Arthur. Hey, special event coming up on Monday right here on TurnLeftTV. Don't want to miss it. Our friends over at Happy Hour Racing League. Brent Owen has done a lot of work for me here at High Octane Racing League. Been super helpful, and we've done some broadcasts in the past for Happy Hour Racing League. We're going to do one on Monday for these guys. It's the H-Rock event. Happy Hour Race of Champions event coming up on Monday at Michigan. That is 15 minutes short race. Invert the field. That's basically the qualifications. 15-minute race, invert the field, and then they'll do a 60-minute main event. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. That's coming up on Monday, August the 3rd at 9 p.m. in Michigan. What a great track. That is Brent's home track, so should be a lot of fun. Maybe he'll get the victory there. They're going to run the trucks at Michigan. That'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Congratulations to Claudio Bardelli Jr. and congratulations to Arthur Vieta. What a fantastic season both those guys had. And also congratulations to Sean Jacobs as well. Thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Really appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And smash the bell. You get updates when races are going live. Always appreciate people coming out and watching the races. Don't forget, next week we start a brand new season here in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series. We will be at Iowa. 130-lap race to kick off season number 4. Congratulations to all the participants tonight. Thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. And again, we'll see you next week. I am out of here.